Yo guys, Jim and Brian from DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, and welcome to our inaugural 6-pack of the month. This is us trying to do something different with the site. Instead of just rushing out, reviews of newer games, we actually want to sit down and give it some time to simmer before we give our impressions of it. This isn't a full review, this is more like an educated rant almost.
So today we're choosing to go with one of the most popular games out right now, and that's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Listen, we know there's a lot of heavy opinions about the Call of Duty franchise, and this game, in me and Jim's initial opinion, it's still much better than Ghost. Now that's not saying much, but still, we wanted to offer up some points that really stuck with us while playing this game, and make sure you give us some feedback. So I'm gonna stop talking, let's get started.
Alright, I'm going to start this off, and I'm going to talk about probably the biggest innovation that this game has. It's probably the newest thing that we've seen in the Call of Duty series, really since dolphin diving, I guess. And what was that? The original Black Ops? I'm going to talk about the Exo Suits. Now, when we first saw these, we all thought, holy crap, this is going to make this like Halo. But really, it turns out to be a weird mishmash of Halo and Titanfall mixed together. It adds abilities to the former, secondary grenade slot. You can put up shields, cloak, extra life. It adds a whole bunch of things. And luckily they were smart enough to not make them completely overpowered. They don't break the game, but some can be a little more annoying than others, and you can add more time to it. But it really isn't the kind of thing that just completely destroys the game like we're fearing. Game moves faster than it ever did before. People are just dashing and diving and double jumping all over the place. Your Exo moves do give off radar pings, kind of like a gunshot. But there's a perk that can take that away from other people. So, rapid punching, very fun, very satisfying. And actually, just punching someone with your Exo suit kind of switches the whole melee attack up, and it actually feels a little bit more fun than the old stabbing goes. It's been 10 games, it's good to have something different. Overall, I like the suits. It goes a little bit more to the pro crowd, especially the people that take more time to really hone it in. It can be annoying to just see people do a quick jump and dash, and not even really run anymore. If I had one suggestion, it would be to add almost kind of like a stamina meter. The cooldown time in between using the moves is way too short. It's barely 2 seconds, and you just see people dashing all over the place. I think it's something that would be better suited to be, you have to really choose when you want to use it to its greatest effect. But besides that, it's a fun feature, and it's at least fresh.
Alright, so the first thing I really want to discuss is the zombies. You might be saying, Brian, what are you talking about? This isn't Black Ops 2, there are no zombies. Well, coming out next week in the DLC pack Havoc, there will be a brand new zombies mode. Now from the clips here, you can see these aren't just like Nazi zombies, and that's all well and good, but as someone who loves the shit out of Nazi zombie mode, Jim really doesn't like it, but I still do. I think it's enough is enough with zombies, or at least just keep it as a Treyarch thing. I might not be the biggest fan of this Exo survival wave thing, but hey, it's something different. In Ghost, as much as I didn't like that game, I gave them points for putting in the extinction mode. They went with Aliens, a more story-driven game mode where you're not just trying to survive as long as you can, you actually have missions. And it was something different from just the typical Call of Duty games, and more importantly, it was different than zombies. Well, Sledgehammer said, fuck that, we know how popular zombies are, and we can get people to pay for something later on in the game. I don't know how the zombie mode will turn out. I don't know if it's going to be different where it's just not wave-based and you don't have to survive for X amount of time. Maybe it will be story-driven, and maybe they'll surprise the balls off me. But until then, cool it with the zombie shit. Leave it for Treyarch, they do it the best. Just come up with some new fucking ideas. That's all I got to say about that.
Next up, I'm going to talk about the maps. And you might be thinking, maps? Who really gives a shit? But honestly, good map design can kind of make or break a game. And luckily, we kind of like almost all these maps. They're all really varied. There's a lot of detail that's been put into each of these. The levels that take place in outside areas are really lush and really take advantage of, at least right now, the graphical capabilities of, say, the Xbox One or the PS4. And yes, PC people, I know you're there too, shut up. Anyway, so the game looks great, and even the more dingy levels, like, say, Detroit, they look really, really shitty, the way Detroit's supposed to look in the future, or now. But, Retreat, Biolab, Breakdown, there's no level that we really dislike. They're all fun in their own ways, and if you think about it, the maps are bigger than almost they've ever been before thanks to the Exo Suits. There's almost no level of the map that you can't access, and while, you know, length and width-wise, they might not be the biggest they've ever been, just the height factor alone gives you so much area to play with. So one big thing about the map design is that there really isn't that whole choke point kind of feeling that you used to have with so many maps and so many of the different games from the history of Call of Duty. There's always a spot that you always know you're going to wind up at and you're going to have your shootouts in. Now, besides the fact you die way too damn fast for that to really happen, the levels are so open that you're going to get shot from pretty much anywhere. People try to go all over the map to find the best spots to snipe and shoot from. There's really just a whole lot of ways you can get around, and there's no one point, even now, that seems to be really preferred. Also, a big thing is the maps just make sense. The levels, luckily, just seem to have a flow to them, and that's really important. Overall, I like the maps a lot. I think they're really well designed. I think it's a lot better than, I mean, obviously Ghost, but even half the maps in Modern 2, Modern 3, I just really like them. They're some of my favorite maps in a Call of Duty yet.
Alright, so next thing I want to discuss is going to have to be the Scorestreaks. Man oh man, did they take a big downturn in this game. For better or for worse, I don't know your opinion, but for me, I just find them all very boring. But, as a plus, it's kind of nice that there's no streak that when it comes on screen, you're like, fuck, now we're definitely losing, there's no chance. There's no real game breakers. Even if you get the Paladin, and even if it's like really souped up with all the extra points, it doesn't really change shit that much. I'm someone, I wouldn't consider myself a great player, but I'm good enough that I can almost always get any of the score streaks I have in any game. And I really always have to go to the Goliath. That's the most fun I have in this game, and even that I can sometimes just get killed in like 20 seconds, because going back to what Jim said, all the verticality and all the crazy movement of these suits, you really don't have a chance, and then you're going to have to waste points on streaks that you may never get, because you're going to kill someone and then inevitably you're going to get shot in the back. That's a general theme in this game. You die so much more. Go to any popular YouTuber who does Call of Duty, that's probably going to be the number one thing you hear them say, is that you die alive. Trying to play Team Deathmatch, I got 5 fucking kills and I could not get my UAV. I'm sorry, if you get 5 kills, you should at least be getting yourself a goddamn UAV. I see what they were going with this game, and I guess they really just wanted to keep the action more about the gunplay and the exosuit movement, and took a lot away from the score streaks. They did also try and integrate more manual operated score streaks, which nobody wants to fucking sit there and use a sentry gun. One more score streak I just need to go on my rant about is the goddamn recon drone. Dear God, that is the most useless thing. And please, anyone who listens to this video or watches it, tell us if you use it and tell us why. And then go kick yourself in the balls, because then you just wasted a goddamn score streak. In the end, I give them credit for trying a few new things, but they really failed this on me. The score streaks are something I've always really enjoyed from Call of Duty, and I just never get excited. Half the time, I don't even bother equipping them for any of these games anymore. Shame on you, Call of Duty. Shame on you.
Alright, the last thing I want to talk about is kind of the overall direction of the series. Because really, this game doesn't seem to make its mind up whether it wants to be for the pro level gamers, or if it's trying to appease to the, let's just say, more casual to newish crowd. So when we were first playing, and for the first couple weeks the game was out, I honestly thought that even though I don't like how fast you die, and I don't necessarily like how fast the game is, I thought it at least made it a lot more fair. You would see videos from people, you know, their first reactions, and they'd be pissed. They'd be pissed that they're dying so much. They'd be pissed that the score streaks aren't as good. They'd be pissed that they're not getting the massive kills that they would normally get before. But, like everything, it's kind of leveled off. Now, the matchmaking in the game is actually a little bit better than it's been in the past, but it's still got its problems. If you're like a lower level player and you're playing on your own, typically you won't be put into games where you're going to be with someone who's just going to destroy you. But we like to play with our buddies. So me and Brian are a little bit above average player. I'm above average. Brian's pretty good, as much as I hate to say it. But we play with a lot of guys who honestly aren't that good. And it's not like we don't have fun, but they're having a miserable time because we're getting put into games with people way more skilled than they are. I honestly believe it tried to balance the game out, and I'm not 100% certain on this, but it seems like they even nerfed the ball, which was available to everyone when you first started the game, and it was completely overpowered for how fast it was. And it was the gun everyone was using. Now, you don't really see people using it, so at least the community's doing a better job of trying to even out the game as much as it can. I really think the game, the whole series really, needs to decide whether it's going for esports or whether it's going for the more casual crowd. I would love to see it go back to, you know, the first Black Ops style of gameplay. But there's people out there who like cracked out versions of Modern Warfare 2. So it's going to be tough to make people happy. Who the hell knows? Maybe wait once every 2 years to release these games and release 2 of them. One more for the fast-paced crowd, one for the more average crowd. I don't know. But I can just really see it alienating everyone if they try to appease everyone. Let's put it that way.
And the last point I want to make, and the final point of this video, is the constant technical issues that this game series runs into with every new Call of Duty title released. We could accept certain glitches with earlier games. World at War, Modern Warfare 2, you had the assholes glitching under a map or going through a rock or whatever technical bugs, fine, we get it. Not everything can be found in before the first release. Okay, but this is your 11th fucking Call of Duty game, and here's some of the issues that still drive us crazy and make us not even want to play it. Attempting to join a friend's game where there are clearly empty spots and it's saying server is full. I've run into this problem, my friends have run into this problem, and you've probably run into this problem. Why can't I join a game where there's clearly open slots? That just pisses me off. And in general, me and my friends still run into the issue of we'll go into a game and for some reason, 1 or 2 of them will just randomly get kicked out. It was much worse in the beginning. It doesn't happen as often now, but still. Come on, man. Get your shit together. The next issue, and this by far is my biggest fucking sticking point, is the lag compensation in this game. I've heard varying reports of some people saying it's not so bad, but the majority of everyone I know, it's a big issue, and I have some video clips right here. Watch how I die. I'm clearly behind a wall, or I'm hidden in a room, but guess what? On the death cam screen, oh, guess what? I'm clearly in this guy's sight. Knock it off with that lag comp stuff. I don't know how you need to fix it, but I never really had that issue in Black Ops 2. Hell, I never even really had that issue in Modern 3. Ghost was even better than this. I don't know what they did, and I don't know the technology behind it. Yes, I'm an engineer, but damn it, I'm not that smart. So, fix your fucking problem, because nobody likes dying when they clearly should not be dying on my own goddamn screen. So really, while I may not hate this game, and it's not the worst Call of Duty, it's definitely starting to really hurt my faith in continuing to buy this franchise. I'm pretty much stuck in it because me and all my buddies, it's just an excuse to play together and just bullshit. And we're not even there so much for the game as we are for each other and just kind of bullshitting. Call of Duty, I think you need to start stepping up your game because eventually a new franchise will come along and whoop that ass.
Alright, and for my final thoughts, like Brian said, I definitely think it's a step in the right direction. But the biggest problem with it is that, to me, it's just a game that really lacks focus. But finally, thankfully, it at least added something greatly new to the series. Well, original to the series. It's been done by Halo with Reach, it's been done by Titanfall, but at least it's there. I like the game. I enjoy it. It can get really annoying, but like Brian, I'm faltering. Honestly, if Black Ops 3 doesn't get that energy back into the series, I'm probably out.
Alright guys, thanks for watching the video, and make sure you leave us some comments. We love your feedback. From anyone who's ever commented before, you know we always answer you back. And let us know how you like this new format. We want to be very informal, just kind of give you our casual thoughts, but, you know, they're thoughts that are not just off the top of our head. We're more thinking about exactly what we're trying to say. So let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any games you want us to discuss like this, and make sure you come back next week for another great video. See you then. Cheers.